Welcome, my dear students, to Standard 10th class Science and Technology Part 1. Today we are going to study gravitation. Gravitation, which means attraction to something or movement towards. Gravitational force is a universal force and it acts not only between two objects on the earth but also between any two objects in the universe. The phenomenon of gravitation was discovered by Sir Isaac Newton. After much thought, he came to the conclusion that the earth must be attracting the apple towards itself, and this attractive force must be directing towards the center of the earth. The direction from the apple on the tree to the center of the earth is the vertical direction at the position of the apple, and thus the apple falls vertically downwards. Newton thought that if the force of gravitation acts on apples on the tree at different heights from the surface of the earth, it also acts on objects at even greater heights much farther away from the earth, for example, moon and other planets. Kepler's laws. Johannes Kepler noticed that the motion of the planets follows certain laws. He stated three laws describing the planetary motion. These are known as Kepler's laws. Kepler's first law: the orbit of planet is an ellipse with sun at one of the foci, which means that the orbit of the planet is an ellipse, that is egg-shaped. As a circle has a center, similarly, ellipse has focal points. The sun is situated at one of its foci. Kepler's second law: the line joining the planet and the sun sweeps equal areas in equal intervals of time. For example, straight lines AS and CS sweeps equal area in equal interval of time, that is, area of ASB and area of CSD, that is, area of ASB and area of CSD are equal. Kepler's third law: the square of its period of revolution around the sun is directly proportional to the cube of the mean distance of the planet from the sun. In this case, period of revolution is the time taken by the planet to go around the sun. For example, Earth to go around the sun will take 365 days. It is denoted by T. Mean distance is the average distance. For example, average distance of SA, SB and SC. Therefore, Kepler's third law gives the relation T square is directly proportional to R cube. Therefore, when we change the proportionality sign to equal to sign, we put the constant. Therefore, T square is equal to KR cube. Therefore, T square upon R cube is equal to K, which is the constant. Newton's universal law of gravitation. Every object in the universe attracts every other object with a definite force. This force is directly proportional to the product of the masses of the two objects and is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. For example, two objects with masses m1 and m2 kept at a distance d from each other. Mathematically, the gravitational force of attraction between these two bodies are written as F directly proportional to the product of their masses, that is m1 and m2, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Therefore, F is equal to G m1 m2 upon d square, where g is the constant of proportionality and is called as universal gravitational constant. But this force is weaker, that is why we do not stick to each other. The gravitational force due to the earth also acts on the moon, because of which it revolves around the earth. Similar situation exists for the artificial satellites orbiting the earth, that is going around the earth. The moon and the artificial satellites orbit the earth. The earth attracts them towards itself, but unlike the falling apple, they do not fall on the earth. Why? This is because of the velocity, that is the speed of the moon and the satellites along their orbits. If this velocity was not there, they would have fallen on the earth. Earth's gravitational acceleration: any object located in the field of the earth experiences a gravitational pull. This is called acceleration due to gravity and is denoted by small g. Acceleration is a vector, that is, it can be described with the help of its magnitude as well as direction. As the gravitational force on any object due to the earth is directed towards the center of the earth, the direction of the acceleration due to gravity is also directed towards the center of the earth, that is vertically downwards. Value of g on the surface of the earth: we can calculate the value of g by using Newton's universal law of gravitation for an object of mass small m situated at a distance of small r from the center of the earth. The law of gravitation gives F is equal to gmm upon r square, where capital M is the mass of the earth. In the previous standard, we have learnt that F is equal to mg. Substituting the value of F in the above equation, we get mg is equal to gmm upon r square. Therefore, g is equal to gm upon r square. If the object situated on the surface of the earth, for that we have r is equal to capital R, that is equal to the radius of the earth. Thus, the value of g on the surface of the earth is g is equal to gm upon r square. The unit of g in SI units is meter per second square. The mass and the radius of the earth are 6 into 10 raised to 24 kg and 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 meter respectively. Using this, we get g as 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 into 6 into 10 raised to 24 upon 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 the whole square, that is equal to 9.77 meter per second square. This acceleration depends only on the mass and the radius of the earth, and so acceleration due to gravity at a given point on the earth is the same for all the objects. Variation in value of g, that is acceleration due to gravity. We have learned that g is inversely proportional to the square of distance between the two objects. This means that when the distance between two objects increases, the value of g decreases, whereas when the distance between two objects decreases, the value of g increases. Change along the surface of the earth. At the equator, the radius of the earth is largest, that is, the distance of a point on the surface of the earth from its center is maximum. Therefore, the value of g is minimum at the equator. On the other hand, at the poles, the radius of the earth is smallest, that is, distance of a point on the surface of the earth from its center is minimum. Therefore, the value of g is maximum at the poles. Change with height. As we go above the earth's surface, the distance increases and the value of g decreases. For example, height of communication satellite is at a distance of 35,700 kilometers from the earth, and the value of g at that distance is 0.225 meter per second square, that is, it decreases with height. Change with depth. As we go deep inside the earth, the value of acceleration due to gravity decreases. Free fall. The force of gravity due to the earth acts on each and every object. When we are holding the stone in our hand, the stone was experiencing this force, but it was balanced by a force that we were applying on it in the opposite direction, as a result of which the stone remained at rest. Once we release the stone from our hands, the only force acting on it is the gravitational force of the earth, and the stone falls down under its influence. Whenever an object moves under the influence of the force of gravity alone, is said to be falling freely. During free fall, the frictional force due to the earth opposes the motion of the object, and a buoyant force also acts on the object. Thus, true free fall is possible only in vacuum. Gravitational potential energy. The energy stored in an object because of its position or state is called potential energy. This energy is relative and increases as we go to greater heights from the surface of the earth. The value of g, that is acceleration due to gravity, decreases with increase in height. For an object at infinite distance from the earth, the value of g is 0 and earth's gravitational force does not act on the object. So it is more appropriate to assume that the potential energy to be 0 over there. Escape velocity. We have seen that the value of g keeps on decreasing as we go higher above the surface of the earth. Thus, the force pulling the ball downwards decreases as the ball goes up. As we keep increasing the initial velocity of the ball, it will reach larger and larger heights, and above a particular value of initial velocity of the ball is able to overcome the downward pull of the earth, that is the gravitational pull, and can escape the earth forever and will never fall back to the earth. This velocity is called escape velocity. For example, if a rocket gains a speed more than the escape velocity, that is 11.2 km per second, then it will overcome the earth's gravitational force and will remain there in the space. Thank you.